Okay, now in this lesson, I just want to go ahead and tweak some of the light plane sources here, as I saw that the light system was still a little too dim. So what I want to go ahead and do is just go over here into our render globals and choose our Fryrender settings and go into our open environment settings, and I want to go ahead and configure our atmosphere here a little differently. So I'm just going to set it here to say like the top of Africa, and turn the exposure up here, say to like 200, and then go ahead and click accept and make sure it's on the fader control number 0 there. Click accept, click close, and I want to go ahead and tweak the light sources for our light emitter planes here. So go back into our object here, click our emitter, and we're using this 100 watt light for these two, so I want to turn this up to say like 175, and that should be okay. And then tweak this third one here. Since we're using that one, I'm going to go ahead and turn this into our studio lamp, and then go ahead and turn this up to 125. Now with those tweaked, that should be more than enough light to go ahead and render with enough light in our scene. So I'm just going to go ahead and bring our camera back into the scene here, and we're going to go ahead and do another test render just to make sure that we have enough light in our scene. So just go ahead and set our camera, say like right there, and go back into our attributes for our camera, turn our depth of field back on, set this up to 325, and then just go back into our render settings and make sure it's going to launch and execute for our render whenever I hit the render button. So now go ahead and click our render button, and it's going to launch Fryrender here for us, and it's taking all the geometry into Fryrender. And now it's actually going to start here. Let's go ahead and turn this up to 900 for our ISO, just to make sure that we can see the image in the overall brightness of the image. And as you can see, it's still a little black here, so I'm just going to sync the tone mapping and bring our image into here, and I can still see that that's probably going to be a little dark, but with all those lights actually changed, I can now see that it's going to be light enough. If you look over here in the top right, and let's go ahead and bring this image in right there, that I can see that that's actually going to be bright enough. So I now know that our light planes are actually good. So in the next lesson, I'm going to go ahead and start applying some of our materials, and we'll just go ahead and apply like the orange material and the apple material, and then I'll come back after I've applied all the materials, because it would take me an excessively long time to walk you through applying all the materials to it. But if I do it once, you should get the general idea of how to go ahead and apply the materials to all the meshes in your scene. And then once we do that, we'll go ahead and set up all of our settings so that we can go ahead and actually render out our interior.